Welcome, fellow seekers of wisdom, to a journey that transcends boundaries and bridges cultures. The Yog Vashishta is a text that we are going to discuss in today's video. This book is an ancient Sanskrit text that delves into the philosophical teachings of Vedanta. It narrates a dialogue between Lord Ram and his guru, the sage Vasishtha, providing insights into the futility of worldly existence and the pursuit of true happiness. This text is reminiscent of the storytelling style found in the Ramayana, and it is highly philosophical. Attributed to Rishi Valmiki, the author of the Ramayan, the Yog Vashishta is a monumental work that imparts Vedantic wisdom to Ram, the hero of the Ramayan. The teachings are conveyed through engaging stories that illustrate profound principles. The focus of the text is primarily on Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. The book is available in two versions. First is the Brihat Yog Vashishta. Brihat means big because it contains 32,000 verses or shlokas. The other book is Laghu Yog Vashishta. Laghu means small. This book contains only 6,000 verses. The philosophical system presented in the Yog Vashishta is a valuable contribution to both Indian and global philosophical thought. It emphasizes detachment from worldly pursuits and offers practical guidance for those seeking liberation. The teachings provide a rich source of knowledge, particularly for those inclined towards spiritual practice. This book is particularly helpful for those who have shifted their focus away from worldly concerns, grown indifferent to material possessions, and are eager for spiritual liberation. It serves as a valuable resource, offering a wealth of knowledge and practical guidance for daily living. The Yog Vashishta introduces its teachings systematically and clarifies them through engaging stories. It's a book meant for repeated study, urging readers to read, reread, study, and master its content for a deeper understanding of its wisdom. The main theme revolves around achieving a union between the individual soul or Jivatma and the Supreme Soul or Paramatma. Amid life's challenges, it encourages us to unite the soul with the God. Here, God is not attributed to any particular religion or form. God just means the supreme energy. The text discusses the nature of Brahman, the ultimate reality, the supreme energy, and various methods for attaining self-realization. It addresses questions about ultimate happiness and encompasses ontology, which is the study of existence. It also encompasses the knowledge of self, principles of psychology, ethics, and practical morality. The story starts with Prince Ram feeling dissatisfied with the world and seeking guidance from the sage Vasishtha. As Ram expresses his frustration, the first part of text is called Vairagya or detachment, dispassion. The first part of this text includes 33 chapters emphasizing the temporary and unsatisfying nature of the world. The text emphasizes that recognizing reality requires human effort. The second part includes 20 chapters and outlines the behavior needed for someone seeking liberation. The early chapters mainly set the stage for the philosophical ideas that will unfold later, particularly in the next section about the origination. In total, there are 6 parts in Yog Vashishta. The yoga discussed in this text doesn't primarily focus on the popular physical asana practice that has become mainstream in today's yoga culture. Instead, the text commences with exploring the theme of depression and ultimately leads to the concept of liberation. The main essence of Yog Vashishta is that gaining knowledge of the self or Brahmagyana frees you from the cycle of births and deaths. All doubts vanish and all actions or karmas cease. This immortal, blissful state is attainable through one's own efforts. The mind is the only slayer of the self, the Atma, with its form being sankalpas. Sankalpa means thoughts and intentions. The mind's true nature lies in vasanas. Vasana means desires or pleasures or expectations. The mind's actions are true karmas. It's not the action that we do, it's basically the thoughts, the desires that arise in the mind are true karmas. Because if there is no desire or if there is no thought, we would not proceed further to do the action. The universe, therefore, is a manifestation of the mind through the power of Brahman. When the mind contemplates the body, it becomes entangled in it and suffers. The mind appears as the external world in the form of pain or pleasure. Subjectively, the mind is consciousness, and objectively, it is the universe. Through discrimination, the mind can attain quiescent state of Parabrahma. Quiescent means stillness. True bliss arises when the mind, devoid of desires, through eternal knowledge or jnana, destroys its subtle form. The vasanas or sankalpas, which means thoughts or desires generated by the mind, entangle individuals like a net. The self-light of Parabrahman appears as the mind or the universe. In simple words, because of the mind's reflection, this world appears to be in the form of pleasure or pain. We like some things or we don't like some things. Whatever experiences we are having, either we are liking them or we are not liking them. And these experiences become our reality. They become our universe. If we remove the reflection of the mind, if we control the mind, we can actually see the true reality. Without Atmic inquiry, people perceive this world as real, even though it is of the nature of sankalpas. The expansion of the mind is sankalpa, and moksha, liberation, self-realization comes through the extinction of sankalpas. Basically, when we control our thoughts, our intentions, then only there comes self-realization, there comes liberation. The impure mind, filled with delusion and worldly thoughts, is the enemy of the self. Mastery of this antagonistic mind is the only way to navigate the ocean of rebirths. Vasishtha explains Lord Ram that the cycle of birth, death and rebirth can only be extinct or eliminated if we practice liberation or self-realization. For that, we need to control the mind, we need to purify the mind, and we need to master this mind. The painful ego is the source of rebirths. It spreads with its branches of mine and thine, yielding unripe fruits of death, disease, old age, and sorrow. This tree can only be destroyed at its root by the fire of jnana. All visible objects perceived through the senses are unreal. Only and only Parabrahma or the Supreme Soul is real. When all enchanting appearances become eyesores and reverse feelings, the mind is destroyed. There are no more thoughts. Possessions, wealth, and desires become useless. Freedom from desires leads to an eternal blissful abode. Sage Vasishtha says, destroy vasanas and sankalpas. Destroy egoism. Eradicate the mind. Meditate on the pure, immortal and all-pervading self. Gain knowledge of the self. Attain morality, eternal peace, bliss, freedom and perfection. A person who practices all of that is called a Jivan Mukta, a realized soul. And this Jivan Mukta lives happily without attractions or attachments. Such a person works for the well-being of the world, free from desires, egoism, and greed, and is in solitude even in the busiest part of a city. The main focus of the text is on psychological problems dealing primarily with issues related to the mind and mental phenomena. If you connect this knowledge with the current scenario, you can say that a Jivan Mukh can be present in its solitude, in its practice, even in the busiest part of a city. There is a lot of information, lot of valuable wisdom that we can gain from this book, Yog Vashishta. Vasishtha consistently talks to Ram, pointing out that Ram's ability to understand his mental state is limited. In this book, he emphasizes how Ram perceives the world through his altered state of consciousness. Other important ideas in the text include relativism, the idea that consciousness is like a hologram, the existence of parallel realities, different layers of time and space, altered states of consciousness, and the connection between the body and the world. The Yog Vashishta is a sublime philosophical work that explores the profound aspects of existence, guiding readers towards realizing the self. It is recommended for those who seek spiritual wisdom and a deeper understanding of life's purpose. May everyone experience the nectar of Yog Vashishta, taste the honey of self-wisdom, and become liberated in this very birth. May the blessings of Sage Vasishtha, Sage Valmiki, and other gurus be upon all of you listening to this video and everyone else as well. If you wish to read this book, I'm going to attach a link in the description box. You can go ahead and check that out. That's all for this video. Share this video so that we can spread this information to the maximum people. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, stay safe, stay sattvic.